Jim Clark with his 1939 Waco EGC-8. Ben Taylor showing us the 1938 Ryan STA. Larry Beebe and his 1943 Stinson Reliant. Robert Taylor, his Life and Times, and the formation of the Antique Airplane Association. This is That They Might Fly Again, Antique and Classic Airplanes, produced by Brian Fitzgerald of Wichita, Kansas. Hi, I'm Brian Fitzgerald. Since the 90s, I have produced a number of movies regarding ultralight aviation. I'm fascinated with all aspects of aviation. I'm also a pilot and love flying, particularly recreational flying, low and slow, and out in the open like we do in ultralight aircraft. But after producing 5 different movies on ultralights, I figured I have said about all I can say about them, at least for now. But anyway, while I pretty much like any airplane, of particular interest to me is the aviation time frame near the beginning. In the 20s, 30s, and 40s, aviation was in its adolescence period, and the world was fascinated with it. New designs were being produced almost daily. The Art Deco movement, which I've always found attractive, was being embraced throughout the Western world in advertising, architecture, and also aviation. To no small degree, it is what gives so many of these aircraft what people call the classic look. While many folks think that to be considered a classic, an airplane needs 2 wings, I'm not stuck on that. Early on, designers saw the inherent aerodynamic value of monoplane construction. It just took a while for them to be able to design the requisite strength into them before cantilever wings became the standard. Consider Louis Blériot crossing the English Channel on July 25, 1909. This was only 6 years after the Wright brothers started the whole thing, and he piloted a monoplane to accomplish this great aeronautical feat. Although the Blériot monoplane was able to cross the channel, it wasn't very strong, regardless of having external wire bracing for its wing. So basically, I don't have a dog in the hunt when it comes to the biplane versus monoplane discussion of classic aviation. I like them both, and you will see some of either design in this series. You are going to meet some very interesting people in this series. These men all have a passion for aviation in general, but a special place in their hearts for classic and antique airplanes. To that end, they all have invested great amounts of time and money to make their dream a reality. They all believe that it is very important to preserve this special slice of kinetic history. Now, perhaps you've never heard the term kinetic history before, and that's because I coined it to make a point. Everyone you see in this movie believes in keeping the antiques flying, and I do too. We appreciate and support static aviation museum displays, but airplanes are meant for flying. So if you agree, let's all help our government understand how important it is to keep them flying. Well, I think I've set the stage now, so it's time to meet the men and machines. Here's That They Might Fly Again.
The Battle of France is over. The Battle of Britain is about to begin. Upon this battle depends the survival of Christian civilization.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. I regret to tell you that very many American lives have been lost. No matter how long it may take us to overcome this premeditated invasion, the American people in their righteous might will win through to absolute victory.
the pocket battleship Graf Spee, which has been for many weeks preying upon the trade of the South Atlantic, has met her doom. And throughout a vast expanse of water, the peaceful shipping of all nations may, for a spell at least, enjoy the freedom of the sea.
I want you to remember that no bastard ever won war by dying for his country. He won it by making the other poor dumb bastard die for his country. And then, all this stuff you've heard about America not wanting to fight, wanting to stay out of the war, is a lot of horse dung. Americans traditionally love to fight. All real Americans love the sting of battle.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. You will bring about the destruction of the German war machine. Our air offensive has seriously reduced their strength in the air and their capacity to wage war on the ground. The free men of the world are marching together to victory. We will accept nothing less than full victory. Let us all beseech the blessing of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking.
General Eisenhower informs me that the forces of Germany have surrendered to the United Nations. The flags of freedom fly all over Europe. I, Harry S. Truman, do hereby appoint Sunday, May 13, 1945, to be a day of prayer. The Japanese have just officially laid down their arms. They have signed terms of unconditional surrender. 4 years ago, the thoughts and fears of the whole civilized world were centered on Pearl Harbor. The mighty threat to civilization which began there is now laid at rest. God's help has brought us to this day of victory. With His help, we will attain that peace and prosperity for ourselves and all the world in the years ahead.
Our own soldiers never die. They just fade away.